Hey, what's up everybody? Kris Krohn here, and check it out. I've decided to put a little series together based on what I would do if I were mentoring a 15-year-old. And it just so happens that if I really want to do this well, I need to find a 15-year-old, and ta-da! Where is he? Where did he go? I got Jack Doherty in the house. You might know him from YouTube. He's YouTube sensation. And dude, he has been lighting me up the last several months with us. Kris, teach me real estate, teach me real estate. So we finally found a time for him to come meet me out here, and we've just been going to school. He's playing hooky right now because we got different school in session. So Jack, say hi to the cam.
What's up everybody? How you guys doing? Let's learn some real estate.
Cause we're gonna be legends. What we're doing here ain't just scary. It's about to be legendary.
So Jack, all the guys here on my channel that follow me and subscribe to me, it's all about how do I learn how to get in the game of real estate, how to make money, and several of my YouTubers, they go on to become very successful in real estate. But I know that I got a lot of young people on the channel here that are asking, man, okay Kris, if you were mentoring a 15-year-old, which I am now, what would I teach them? And what I'm going to do here in this short video is I'm going to share with you 6 things that I think is most important, Jack, for you to understand about making money in the game of real estate, because it is going to culminate in having a game plan. And what I'm going to do here is I want to share with you the 6 things I think are most important for you to understand to really get in the game.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Okay, the first thing, something that we're not always taught in life, is that if the goal is to get to number 6, making money in real estate, because I want to show you by 18 how to be a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
And the first thing you really got to learn is how to pay yourself. Now, this is kind of a weird concept because we're taught to build skills, work for somebody else, and get a paycheck. But we're never paying ourselves. You know what we're doing instead? We're paying our phone bills, and we're paying our car, and we're paying our mortgage. And so most people, they don't do a really good job of making sure that they get paid. In fact, they're too busy trying to pay all their other bills. And here's what pay yourself means. You're young, so you can do what I'm about to suggest, but for those of you that are older and have jobs, formal jobs, I always say out the gate, you should be striving to pay yourself no less than 10% of your income. And if you're doing a good job on your budgeting, that number is insufficient for the long haul, you need to get it to 20%. Now, but Jack, so you're living at home under mom and dad's roof, so what percentage of all the money are you making as a YouTuber are you saving?
Most of it that I don't, buy stuff with or pay my taxes.
It's just like, what percentage of all the money do you make are you actually saving for you?
I'd say about 70%, 60%, 80%. I don't know. Something around 70 to 80%.
Yeah, and it could be even more than that, right?
Yeah,
because the reality
is
is,
more than that.
Dude, as a YouTuber, he's put some good money away. And the thing is, right now, he doesn't have to worry about some of the bigger expenses of life. Dad, who's holding the camera, has to bear some of that burden, right?
That's true.
So he's in a position where maybe he can save 80%.
Possibly even 90.
And maybe even 90%. Here's what I want adults to be striving for. You want to be paying yourself 20% of the money you're making. If you're saying, Kris, I don't got the money to pay myself 20%. Don't you know how expensive it is to live? I'm like, but why are you living? Are you living just to pay bills? Do you know how demotivating it is to go to a job, work your butt off for 2 weeks, get a paycheck and say, goodbye, I don't get to save any of you. But that's real world. So you're doing something really smart, and the older you get, you want to stick with this habit. And the reason why is because if you pay yourself, guess what you can do with this money?
Invest.
Boom, right here, dude, he's got it. Number 2 is it means that you can learn how to invest. And so that's the second thing I want to put here is you need to learn what it means to invest. Now, having a job isn't investing. What does investing mean to you?
Putting money into something else to get more money out of it.
Putting money into something else to get more money out of it. So for example, right now I'm going to upset some people watching this video. I don't care. The society will say, well, investing means put your money in a 401k. Or it means putting money in an IRA. Or it means putting money into some kind of retirement account, putting money into stocks. And technically, these are all what the world would call viable investments. In fact, it's what most people do with their money. But I don't consider any of these things investments. So I'm about to give you rule number 2. My definition of an investment is something that pays you. If it doesn't pay you, I put it in a different category called speculative. Well, I put my money in the stock market, and over time I expect it to get bigger. But here's my question. If I put all my money in a 401k and IRA and stocks, then what am I getting paid day to day, month to month? The answer is nothing. One of my partners just joined. He has a net worth of $1.5 million and he has zero residual income from it. And if you are cash poor and your money isn't working for you and because it's not paying you, in my opinion, you got a problem. Because we're not living to be worth a certain amount of money. Like you might say, Kris, if I said I was worth $5 million, how cool would that be? And I'd say, it depends. What does your $5 million do for you? Well, it doesn't pay me a residual. Then I'd say, then you can feel good on paper, but instead of $5 million, how cool would it be if instead you had $50,000 a month residually coming in no matter what?
Yeah.
I would take $50,000 a month over $5 million any day of the week.
Because it will turn to 5
It will not only turn into that, but this is what you use to live.
Yeah.
If this isn't actually providing like cash to you, you have a problem. So society's teaching us one way. So rule number one is you got to pay yourself. And then rule number two is you got to invest in something that pays you. Don't lock all your money away in things. And if you're going to put money in these, make sure it's he's not allowed.
He's not allowed.
Oh, good. Yeah, he's too young because remember we're training a 15-year-old.
We're 15.
So boom, I love it. Okay, number three is that your investments, they have to grow. I want it to grow in two ways. We already talked about number one. Well, it has to pay me. It's got to give me something for investing in it. But number two, growing means if it's worth $100,000 today, then what's it going to be worth in the future by the time I sell it? It has to appreciate. It has to become greater in value. So if I'm buying something that doubles in value in 5 years, then my 100,000 now can grow to 200,000, and that can always be factored into something called an ROI. What does it stand for, Jack?
Return on investment.
Boom! Again, he's nailing it. Return on investment, which means I put 100 in. If I double my money, and it took 5 years to double, then we actually can find out, oh, that means I'm earning 20% a year on my money. Now my money is working for me instead of me working for it. So these are the first three lessons. And so I just want to recap them because getting on to 4, 5, and 6 for it to really make sense, you need to understand. Number one, you don't work for money. You go to work for yourself.
And my money works for me.
Number two is I'm going to put my money to work for me by investing it. I'm going to put it in things that pay you. And then the third thing is it's not just has to give you something on a regular basis, but it's also got to increase in value. Now, do you know, Jack, of any investments whatsoever? Are there any investments at all that come to mind that pay you after you invest in them and also grow?
Real estate.
Boom! The kid is freaking a natural. He's freaking crushing it. It's this game of real estate. Now I'm just going to share with you a couple of things that I love about real estate. Real estate can do a lot of things for you, but there's three important ones, and now you already know two of them. The first one is it should be producing cash flow, which means after you get money, you pay the expenses. Like for example, if I have a house, I rent the house, and I have a mortgage to pay what I owe the bank, but my rent should be bigger than that. So the leftover money is called a cash flow. If it doesn't have a positive cash flow, I'm not touching it. Number two is it has to grow in value, and that means equity. Equity is the word we use. So if I buy something for 100 grand and it becomes 150, then my equity position increased. So this is like my net worth, and this is my active income. And then the third thing is that when you start making a lot of money, you're going to have to owe a lot of this to the government. What is it?
Taxes.
You have to owe a lot of taxes. So real estate done the right way, 15-year-olds already had to pay loads in taxes. So you understand the value of tax breaks, right?
Yeah.
So we were doing a little bit of a lesson this morning on how tax breaks work in real estate. And I'm showing Jack's strategy where all of the money that you earn right here can all be canceled out by tax shelters. And real estate can produce that for you. So these are the three biggest things that I love about real estate. I'll invest in business, alternative things as well. But real estate is where I put probably 90% of my investments because number one, every time I buy a home, I get richer every month. Number two, if I buy it right, it grows with equity. And number three, the money I make, I don't necessarily have to pay taxes on. Real estate is a really big thing. Now, in a moment, we're going to be getting to your game plan and talk about what is Jack actually going to be doing here as a 15-year-old who's making a little bit of money here and there through YouTube? How does he multiply that, double it, triple it, quadruple it? Stay tuned. Hey, thank you so much for watching that video here. And dude, Jack, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it more.
Dude, I hope that you get inspired by a 15-year-old stepping up and saying, I want to figure it out. In fact, earlier today when I was asking, dude, what drives you? What motivates you? Why are you so hungry to get into real estate younger than anyone I've ever met? Do you remember what your answer was?
I just want to get a head start and just be ahead of the game.
Head start, head of the game, get in early. Whatever age you're at, you're never too early. That's why I became financially free in my 20s. You can do the same no matter what age you are. It's never too late to get in the game. If you want to learn your next steps of getting your own custom real estate game plan, click the link below. Me and my team will chat with you. I'll send you one of my books in the mail for free. And stay tuned, because on the next video, we're going to do part 2 of the rest of the principles coming Jack's way.